Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Congrats to those SUI holders that took that long after our analysis from yesterday. Didn't get that pullback to fill that fair value gap. Instead, we created a new one and created also all-time highs here at 491. So I think $5 is just an inevitability at this point. So what we generally want to do in situations like this is see how the local high basically is tested here soon. So if the price comes down a little bit lower, how does it respond to that? That's generally the best way to describe it, is to, if it holds above, then we should see it continue higher. A general best practice is to take a long at that previous high because it'll likely retest as a new low. Okay, so that's just the concept there. It doesn't always work out that way, but hypothetically, we should see a pivot and a bounce from here. Now, again, as you know, probably know by now, crypto trading is not super consistent when it comes to things that should happen, but for the most part, it is. And again, in fact, SUI is one of those outliers that actually outperforms the upside regardless. So you're generally more likely to find success if you take longs versus shorts. So if you caught anything from what I mentioned yesterday, it was absolutely reinforcing the fact that you do not short this coin. You don't short most any coin right now at this exact moment because the price action is looking very good for all coins right now. Okay, so SUI is obviously, again, no exception. So let's take a quick look at some liquidation data, kind of see what's going on. Don't forget to hit that like button. Really deeply appreciate that. And obviously, throw a comment below too. Let me know what your average price is here for SUI. I'm always curious about that. I got in somewhere in the 150, 160 range. Granted, it's not a large bag, but it's still something that's growing and it's kind of nice. So congrats again to anyone who got in under $4 effectively at this point. So 520, $5 even, roughly 485 here. So let's just say 490 is an easy round number. 490 to roughly 520. There's that 30-cent range there that's got a lot of people shorting this coin. And it makes sense that they're shorting just above that round number. Keep in mind, round numbers are very consistent about being resistances or supports. So we may see $5 as that psychological resistance for a little while. Having said that, though, we can see liquidation delta starting to taper off, so profits are being taken and or more shorts are being opened. Okay, really just telling us that we're getting close to equilibrium here, essentially letting us know that a pivot or a bounce from here would actually be very, very sensible. We take a look here, of course, we can recognize that 420 is that local point of control or more so open interest. That's where people are effectively accumulating the most. And then obviously here at about 465 secondary to that. So those are kind of just some heavier concentrations. Let's take a look at the daily time frame, work our way down, and recognize that we're above the 50-day SMA. We've been above for quite some time now, so really nothing to concern ourselves with. The 20-day as well, holding as a nice support. So generally speaking, when I say 20 holding as a support, please don't take that with a grain of salt, rather, and just know that moving averages are not support levels. They just kind of give you an overall trend and understanding of what direction you're moving in. And oftentimes prices will kind of hold above or below those ranges depending on obviously the price action. But at this point, we could see that holding pretty strong at that 0.618 fib level. At 360 was a nice little support range for us. Having said that, though, we are right back up at 70 in the RSI. So if we can hold above this level here, about just say 460 or higher for another 24, 48 hours, I think one more leg up makes a lot more sense, especially with us trying to break through this little tentative resistance level. Money flow index is still maintaining itself rather well. MACD, stochastic, everything's looking very bullish here. So there's, again, absolutely no reason to consider shorting this coin. While you could find some profits, there's a ton of profit. There's a huge fair value gap as low as 390. But is that going to get filled? The key takeaway here is that, in short, it should over time. And just right now, we don't want to try to short into it because it's really too early. Most immature, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. Most novice traders will try to short the top because they feel like a coin's overextended. And while you might find some success with that, perhaps you're in the green right now on a short that you took. If you continue to try to do that over and over, you're going to find less successful trades because again, you're fighting against the grain. I don't know if you've ever tried to swim upstream in like a slow-moving river. It is not really that ideal. You're better off just literally floating downriver and not really exerting much effort. That's how it works with trading too. You beat your head against the wall so many times, you're probably going to start getting a headache, and it's just unnecessary. Anyways, that's why I try to teach best practice in my videos instead of just telling you everything's going to moon out, because that's just really not the realism of crypto, okay? At least in the overall sense, I think in general, most coins like this one will continue to do well, okay? But it doesn't take a rocket science to say that SUI is going to eventually do well. However, it does take some level of understanding in the market to to kind of ride these waves, right? And that's what it's all about if you are trading. If you're just a spot bag holder, you probably don't even need to watch this, honestly, because it's just going to keep going up and you sell whenever it hits your target. But between now and then, there's a lot of price action and generally good stuff here. So anyways, 4-hour time frame, moving averages were above all four. There's really nothing we can extract here letting us know that we're going to see a shift in momentum. Even though stochastic's pulling back, the price is retracing a little bit. We got a fair value gap as low as 440. I would say that's probably a better case scenario. See a little wick down there and then consolidate and leg back up again. That seems like a very practical movement here based on the momentum it has, the amount of volume flowing into this coin. The money flow index is, while it's not monumentally high, it's doing very, very well compared to most of the market right now. And the same thing with the hourly too. We take a look here. This window of opportunity is still open. You don't short into 3 confirming factors on a smaller time frame. Once again, you may find some success, but I think success is limited. We could even argue that we're starting to see a type of flag pattern forming here. It's really common for price action to go up, start rejecting into a descending channel, and then effectively bounce off a local high, which in this case is the new low at 450. So I feel like 450 is going to be a nice little pivot point here. There may be a potential wick down or two just to kind of wipe out any late longs, or maybe, early longs rather. And then of course, in general at this point here, just it's more likely to go up than down, really. That's just the easy way to understand it. So I'll post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll clean up the charts. I haven't updated our fib levels for this conversation simply because there was no need, and this daily candlestick hasn't truly closed yet either. So I don't like to move my fib levels every 5 to 10 minutes. I think that's kind of ridiculous. You should base your fib levels on more macro behavior. That's when you get like the true key levels. But easy way to understand it right now is at the previous high. We got to see how it works as a new low and kind of go from there. This is a pretty important little level here for us, so we're going to pay attention to that guy. All right, I hope you had a good learning experience. Thanks again so much for your awesome support. Join us over at Bitunix too, folks. If you want to take advantage of this nice deposit bonus this month, it's awesome. Next month we'll have another trading competition. You're automatically eligible if you just use my link to register. It's pretty simple. Having said that, join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord too if you want to stay abreast on our playout charts. Those are always flowing through my social media. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, though. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.